Hey guys, sorry, just wait for the light. It takes a second or two. There we go. So as you can tell, today we're joined by an obnoxiously bright light. So hopefully the quality is a little bit better than my last few videos. Again, very fresh to YouTube. Only really done streaming in the past, so bear with me while I iron out all the kinks. Yeah, so as the title suggests, today we're looking at how WoD has affected either positively or negatively the Legion hype train, and that's pretty much it, really. Pretty straightforward. Taking a little break from the Blizzard improvement series of my last few videos. I am going back to it very soon. I just kind of wanted to explore one or two little side topics first, and then come back to it as I just fleshed out my ideas a little more, because I don't want to rush a video and then go, oh, actually, if I'd held on to that idea for a week, it would have been a bit better. So, just bear with it. I will still try and keep, near daily content going up, so don't worry too much. Anyway, I'm going off on a rant. So, yeah, in regards to working out if WoD had affected Legion, positively or negatively, it's something I was kind of interested in for a while. Been talking to quite a few friends about it, been watching a ridiculous amount of discussion videos in the last few months, which kind of been broaching the same topic. I know Bellular's had a few on something quite similar. So's Az from Heal versus Babyface, and pretty much everyone actually, now that I think about it. So sorry for any I didn't mention. But yeah, so I was going to record this video yesterday, but then I sat down and thought, actually, are you really qualified? Am I prepared? I'll just let that sink in for a while. No, not really. I'm kind of just a guy with a webcam and a cat, so I probably shouldn't be going completely off my own mental tangents. So what I decided to do was I went to Reddit. Interesting bunch. And I threw a poll together, really straightforward, and I'll bring that up now so you can see what it looks like. And yeah, I've let it sit for about 24 hours. We've, at the point of recording, have 772 votes, so, okay, it doesn't quite express the views of the entire community, but it's quite a good percentage, and I'll bring it up just now. So, these are the results. You can see the topics. So, are you actually hyped for Legion? Yes. Ashbringer swag, Demon Hunters, Illidan ERP. No, Blizzard burned me with WoD and I need to see more. And 3, I don't care about Legion, I just want new content to play. Now, before I continue, there's one or two things to cover about this poll, because it has a few flaws. One, surprisingly, and I thought originally when I first read the comments, they were saying I swayed people to vote negatively, but people were saying that my Illidan ERP was quite persuasive, and a few people were going to say no, but that won them over. So maybe deduct a few votes from that side. Also, one or two kind of wanted just a completely indifferent option, and some felt maybe a little led with the way I phrased it. So, going forward, I'll try and keep that in mind. So, yeah, it's quite an interesting poll. I wasn't 100% sure what I expected when I first went into it. When I first thought about it, I was, thinking, oh, it's going to be really negative because all you ever hear about is all the hate Blizzard's getting at the moment. And then I start typing it up and I joke around a little bit with Ashbringer swag and Illidan ERP, and I'm like, well, Illidan is pretty cool. And people do like the Ashbringer. Maybe that will win. So yeah, it was one of those things. I never really knew which way it would go. And as I said earlier, it's been sat for about 24, probably 25 hours now. And after, it initially stabilized after 30 minutes or so, because, obviously when you've only got like 3 votes, it sways it quite rapidly when someone else joins in. But, from about 30 minutes all the way to now, the percentages haven't really shifted much. We are slightly seeing them pull apart, but to, begin with, even just a few hours ago, it was pretty much like 50% yes, 25% no, 25, to be honest, probably more like 23% I don't care. That has always been the least polled throughout. But yeah, I was very surprised at how the numbers pretty much stayed the same. Oh, and one other thing. For people watching this in the future, this was polled pre-BlizzCon. And, I'm totally expecting that weeks before, not weeks, but days before, and then after BlizzCon, these numbers will be swayed because the hype is real. You know, the second we see Metzin and the WoW team on stage, we'll start salivating. Yeah. So, anyway, what did I expect to achieve with this poll, and what am I trying to tell you now? Basically, I kind of just wanted to get an idea of where people were at, because often what happens is you just sort of get a guy, you know, grabs a camera and goes off on one, and he doesn't really take other people's views in. So I was kind of trying to see where the community was at in regards to myself, my own personal feelings on the state of WoD. And I think it kind of lines up quite well. Yeah, okay, you could kind of separate it into 54% of feeling positive and 45% of feeling negative. Now, it's not that black and white. So let's just, you know, get a few things out of the way. Nearly every single negative, and I say negative quite loosely, but nearly every single negative comment in the thread still said they're going to buy the game. It was pretty much, yeah, no, Blizzard have really let me down. I'm going to buy Legion because it looks cool, but I don't think I'll play for more than a month. Or, yeah, I'm not really that excited about Illidan. I don't want more melee classes, so I'll probably just stick with my main. But I'm really excited for more content. So, I think a lot of the Legion hype is sort of confused with content hype. And that might just have something to do with it, something we didn't get that much of in WoD. So, you know, take everything with a bit of a grain of salt. Another thing is, and this is something I'm sort of starting to lean more towards, the more I look at this poll and I look at people's responses, the I don't care about Legion section, I kind of want to say that's positive. And I kind of want to add those votes to the yes section. I get it's kind of awkward, and I get that's not what they're saying, but even the no guys saying they're going to buy it. And the I don't care guys are saying, I just love WoW and I want to keep playing it. So really it's kind of like 76-ish%-ish, because, you know, I've sort of warped the figures a little bit here. But it's sort of 76-ish% are kind of excited about new content at least. And they just want to keep playing. And the rest are a bit more reserved. The main stressing point from all the comments and from this poll is caution, right? People are feeling cautious towards Blizzard. And that really resonates with sort of how I felt with Blizzard pretty much this whole expansion. Even though I wasn't the biggest advocate of MOP as a PvPer, it was kind of a bit meh. I know Raiders loved it. You know, I was really, really hyped for WoD. I was really hyped, and I could see what they were trying to do with Miss, and I could see what they were trying to do with Kata. And while most say that, you know, Wratha was the glory days, you can really sort of see what they were going for. And then in WoD, it's kind of just like, what happened? The thing is that even though a few people are feeling quite cautious about Blizzard, and that is quite sad, you know, because I've always kind of expected to be playing WoW, if that makes sense. I've never really sat down and thought about it until, you know, quite recently I've started questioning the game a little bit. But I never really imagined myself not playing WoW. It's something I've played for such a long time now that you just sort of expect it to always be around. And I think for quite a few people, WoD started to raise fears that, not that Blizzard's going to disappear, because Blizzard's Blizzard, you know, they're an amazing company, they make amazing games, but the magic is starting to fade. The fairy dust is losing its shine. I don't really know what's going on. Probably something with Pan on that new release. Anyway. So, yeah. That's sort of that. But at the same time, I was watching in AzChat's video a few months ago, and this poll really reminded me of that when I came to writing up my notes, because usually what happens is I have a rough idea, I write up some notes, I get a bit carried away. This last one was like 1,000 words or something stupid. And then I just kind of go and try and record it in one shot. Now, Blizzard kind of have done really well with WoD. I'm in the middle of making a Blizzard improvement series because I think they could do better things to recapture the community, but WoD was pretty successful financially at least, and as says himself, they did pretty well. They had a massive launch. I believe the numbers were about 10 million. Yeah, they dropped off pretty rapidly, but a similar-ish thing, not as drastic, happened in MOP. You know, started off quite high, lost a few million, sort of stabilized, the numbers sort of stayed the same. Yes, we haven't got quarter three figures yet, and you know, we're probably around 3-4 million. Still quite a lot of people playing the game, and you know, the subscription fees have gone up in the UK where I live. The box price has gone up to make room for our free level boost, but that's another point. And you know, you got the constant shop mounts, you know, increase in server transfer prices, all of that sort of stuff. They're doing pretty well. And even though they've had an expansion, which pretty much everyone's universally gutted, we all are gonna buy the game. And even the people saying no, I don't trust Blizzard anymore, um, they're still saying, yeah, I'm gonna buy the game. It's probably gonna be pretty good, but I won't be playing more than a few months. Blizzard doesn't really need more than that. Yes, us the gamers would love to be captured by WoW again and to spend every day farming and raiding and PvPing and doing all of that stuff and just, you know, logging in and feeling like, oh, I've got so much to do. Or just feeling like you can trust the devs when they say they're working on something and you go, oh, that was really cool. Yeah, that panned out. I got that when I expected I would or whatever. And yeah, I don't know. It's quite interesting. Do they need to change their ways? I would agree that they do, but financially, maybe not. I don't know. I think these numbers kind of do suggest one thing, though. Yes, we will keep buying the game. Yes, they, you know, smacked us around a little bit in WoD. You know, the whole abused wife analogy. Probably quite extreme and quite hurtful analogy, but so apologies. But at some point, there will become a testing point, and a lot of the comments in the thread sort of mention this. A lot of recent YouTube videos by other content creators, you know, say pretty similar things, that Legion will be very telling. And I think a lot of it kind of has to do with Blizzard still trying to work out where they want to be. When I say Blizzard, the WoW team, you know, they still kind of want to work out where they want to be with, you know, it's weird because they do the whole sort of PvP series and they get people like Bajira in and they get Lore in and they do the Q&As and you go, okay, I can sort of see the way they're going. And then they just turn around and do some odd things. And I think they just need to refine their footing. They've had quite a big shift around upstairs. You know, their team's kind of ballooned in size. We never really know how many projects they're working on at once. They've got this whole 1 year model in mind. And I think they're just trying to refine their footing and hopefully they get the formula right. But it sort of pains me to say that maybe they don't need to change the current formula. At least financially. I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. So as I sort of wrap up this video, thank you everyone who voted. I really didn't expect to get anywhere near as many people going as they did, and the same with the comments and everything. Yeah, the next video, just a little bit of sellout, will be looking once again with thanks to Reddit at Demon Hunter tanks. I play a tank myself. And that's sort of where I'm at now. I sort of dropped PvP in WoD, and now I'm just a raider, and I run my own sort of raiding guild. So yeah, it's sort of looking at how I would make Demon Hunter tanks, where I would sort of shift the tanking role in general. And then after that, I'll probably do one more off-topic WoW discussion, but then I'll go back to the Blizzard Improvement series, and I will do my utmost best to stick to this daily schedule that I've you know sort of woven into. So yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry for the slightly awkward tangents. This was a re-recording, so it probably wasn't quite as passionate as my initial, but the sound would have really annoyed you. It annoyed me in the edit. So yeah, I'm Tarke. Thanks for watching. Unfortunately, my cat has decided to disappear. She was floating around my feet a second ago, so that's kind of ruined my outro. So yeah, I'm Tarke, and this is a mug with a dinosaur on it. I'm British. I don't know. I'll come up with something better next time. Okay, so funny enough, if anyone who hasn't watched one of my videos before, usually it ends with "I'm Tarke" and this is a cat, and you had that weird whole mug section. Literally within a minute of me stopping the video, guess who's turned up? So, I'm Tarku. This is a cat. This is still a dinosaur mug. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.